Right, good morning, folks. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a great day. Right, so today is going to be a first. I spent 57 minutes recording Stationeer's video last night. And I forgot to turn the microphone on. Where I've been messing around in the settings in the background, sorting out the volume problems. Well, I don't think this video is going to have the volume problem, because we're going to have two channels on this video, audio and video. So what we're going to do today is we are going to make an airlock. And I'm going to make a little checklist, because when you're doing large jobs, it can sometimes feel a bit daunting. You get up and you go, right, I've got to do all of this, and you're like, that seems a bit big. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make a to-do list. We're going to break down the task into some easy chunks, so that by the end of today's episode, we will have achieved some good results. What are you thinking now, Ben? What are you thinking? Yeah, just going to stand here looking around. You know, I think I'm going to have to get in to do some editing. So I think at this point here, I'm talking about that to-do list. Because it's thanks to you guys. You know, when I used to first play this game, I used to get distracted so much. Off to do one job, and then on the way to do that job, I see something else to do, and I get distracted doing that. So I think you guys have helped me focus on the jobs in hand. And I think that was a space that I was going to use for I'm going to do a things to do graphic. I'm going to work through it together. You know, because why can't I put a light switch for downstairs up there? So many things to improve the space. Makes it quirky, I guess. So we're going to put the airlock down there. Batteries are there. So that base has got, I think, two big main base batteries. So we're just going to get a power feed down to there. Probably do it with a transformer. So we're nearly up to breathable temperature. It's about 29.1. That doesn't last long. You'll see today I'll make a couple of boo-boos. But it only drops down to 27. So I'm not going to go through that door now, because if I open that door and the base is equalized on pressure or whatever, you know, I'm comfortable at about 101 kph pressure in the base. So we're going to get this airlock going, and then that way we don't have to worry about it. Just checking the microphone's working. So that's the airlock, just there. We'll go out there and see it in a minute. That's the main entrance to that base. We're going to take a pancakes? Yes, we've got to take pancakes. Pancakes for the win. So we're just going to check on our atmospherics, make sure everything's hunky-dory here. Again, this side of the base, very much uncompleted. I think what we're doing here, I'm just going around checking. Oh no, I'm looking for my data card. I think I'm looking for my data card, because I've got everything lined up in those boxes ready to go. So I'm running around the base going, where's that data card? I've put it somewhere safe. So safe. Not even I can find it. So I'm busy here wondering, where did I use it last? Where did I use it last? Ta-da! There we go. OSHA would be proud of my dark tinted interior. But I'm on Mars. How far away is Mars? 10 light years? Yeah. So that's going to be used on a future project. I've got to put this up in the tower. Could have taken it. Did I take it with me? I can't remember. I've got to put that up in the tower. But it's not a priority. You see, this is what I used to do. I used to get distracted. Pick things up and go, right, I'm going to go just quickly do that job. And on the way, quickly do this job. Quickly do that job. But now, folks, you focus my mind. You focus my mind. And I'll think, right, I've got to get this operation done. Successful. Just clearing out the junk now from the suits. I'm taking the hard suit simply because we're working on the ground. Not digging holes. There's no way we're going to get stuck. So we're just picking up the boxes now. We've got everything we need to make an airlock. Go and grab something to eat, get something to drink. Gonna need to make some bread soon. Tell me what you think. Do you like this style of video where I'm just on the go? No cuts, no edits. I think the trouble is with me, so I've just got ketchup on my lap. Yeah, settle down, Mimi. I can spend hours editing a video. And I just think when I'm doing, well, I mean, why not? What am I doing now? Doing maybe 9 videos a week? Now, if those are 9 poor quality videos, why not do some editing, polish them up? And if it means having to only send out 3 good quality videos a week, I don't know, but just trying to see where my style is, where I fit in the world of YouTube. There's plenty of people out there that do very polished, edited videos. But I do look at the screen and think, yes, I do need to get a bigger mouse mat. So this is the airlock here, and I'm not too worried about breaking this open because inside there is pressurized. We do not want to open that door while these 2 doors are open. So now we're going to stand in like the suit preparation room, if you like. And then I'm looking at where to put the transformer on that wall. We've got to get the power out the back here. And eventually I plan on having it feed off that tower. And it's going to trickle feed for now. I'm going to trickle feed it. It's going to, I think it's what do we get to? 110 watts or something like that. Because it's not like we're spending all day, every day out there with machinery and lots of lights, air conditioning and the such likes. It's just so we've got enough power to power the airlock. So we need the area supply unit. And we're going to get the transformer out. And again, we don't need, even though it's quite a big base, we don't need, I say this now, but I don't think we need a big transformer. I think 5 kilowatts is enough. You think that other base, the other half of the base, what I think maxes out with everything running, maxes out at about 5 on each circuit. I tell a lie, maxes out about 5 kilowatts. But on the other side of these transformers, nothing more than 3 really. So I'm setting this up. This is kind of going to be the permanent home for the inboard transformer. But everything else is going to be fairly temporary and subject to change. I don't want this base to turn into a spaghetti junction of cables. So we're here sitting here trying to decide which way is the best way for the cables to get into the base. I'm trying to work out if we're going to put a battery charger somewhere. Does it look better at the top there? And that gave me the biggest fright in the world. That's the notification I get when somebody subscribes while I'm in game, while I'm recording. And I was recording, so I don't think I was even live, so that's just a message from my website. So again, we're just trying to work out in our heads, do we have it up there? Do we have it up top? Do we have it what? How is it not going to be in the way for the future and still look aesthetically pleasing? I think I decided there, and then I was going to, no, I decided the middle, and then we're going to put the area power supply at the bottom. So the area power supply, that'll be for the airlock. That'll probably change because that might be for the airlock and the suit room. The suit room we're in at the moment. So the room we're in at the moment is where we have plenty of space to get suited and booted. Have some locker space. And still in my mindset, I'm not used to having dedicated large areas for a suit room, dedicated large areas for an airlock. So you see there are still probably in the habit of cramming everything into the corners. Now at that point I'm looking to see the base batteries are just behind that wall. So I can't go behind that wall at the moment because obviously the base is pressured up a little bit and this side of the base isn't. So I'm just laying down the cable ready. Again, it's not a major it's not a heavy cable. It doesn't need to be. At this point, and probably for the foreseeable future, I'll never be having a base that requires 20 kilowatts, 10 kilowatts, anything over 5. What I'll do is I'll put in sub-circuits. If the total base is going to draw, let's say 10 kilowatts, then it'll be 5 circuits of 2 kilowatts, if that makes sense. So I'll never need anything more than those little cables. On the outside, I'm debating whether to plant in a heavy cable. And I think I do need a heavy cable that side because that's going up to the mains. That's going up to where the solar panels are. And then this box here is going to trickle feed into the base. And that's the transformer that's going to, I'm going to set that at 110 watts just to trickle feed and keep this area supply unit, which is going to power the airlock for now, while I get the base pressured up. Because the one thing with this base is I want everything to be just right. You'll see in a minute I've got a space between the walls, I've got a space between the ceilings, so that I can run all the cables on show, the pipes on show. So if I have a pipe burst or a cable blow or anything of that matter, I can see it. I'm not having to pull walls apart. I can literally walk into the void space between the walls and trace my circuits. And that'll give me a lot of wall space for the logic chips as well. So with this base here, normally I'm in a bit of a hurry to get a base up and running. The starter base, obviously, because you know you've got to get a breathable space, you've got to get food, you've got to get water, you've got to get machines. With that intermediate base there, that's my first steel base where I can get some good pressure up, have some space to run around. And now this, I think this is my first base where I can really set it up to look nice, make it look a bit homely, as if it's like a proper base on Mars. Now at the moment, this is going to be a temporary wire. I was deciding this was going to be a very temporary wire. Purposely put it up in the open like an extension cable. And I purposely put it out in the open so that it was quick for me to set up. And also I would always be looking at it, and my OCD would be always reminding me, hey, sort this out now. So now I'm just looking around how I'm going to set up everything in the airlock. Eventually you'll see in a minute I can't put up with that cable, so I'll put that cable back and then I open up the walls. I can open up these walls now because I'm outside, so I'm getting ready to put pipes down, vents on, clearing away the walls so I can put stuff up on there and track where all the wires and everything are going. And then I'm working out, because I don't want to open up the base. That's the base. There you go. So that's where I lose a little bit of air in the base. And I'm like, whoopsie, my bad. Yeah, close it up. So that side's pressurized, so we can't take that wall off. But it's not a problem. I'm kind of at this point regretting my decision to put the console there, because I'm like, ew. But all that needs to go to that previous console. That console is just a cable. And my memory is good enough for at least 5 seconds, so we're okay with that. So I'll start pulling the floors apart. All these walls are coming off. I'm working out where I'm going to trace pipes, cables. So I'm just taking things out the way. And at this point I'm again still working out where I'm going to put air vents and such like. Now at this point in my mind I'm also thinking about where I'm going to be putting the suit storage. You see, I'm so used to working in tight spaces. I'm like, right, suit storage is going to be in the airlock. But it's not, it's going to be in this room here. Probably up against the wall there. So I'm going to set these vents up as if I'm putting the suit storage in the airlock, but I'm not. So this will probably all be subject to change. I mean, this is a task which I could easily spend probably 3-4 hours moving it around, getting it just right. And I'm very much aware here that I've got a limited time span, probably about an hour. You guys don't want to sit here and watch me for 3 hours while I place one vent. So very much in the back of my mind, I'm like, right, okay, we've got to find a spot. Find a spot where we're going to put these vents. We're going to put them there. Looks good. But then it clips into the wall. Doesn't look good. So I'm like, okay, right. Can't put it there. Don't need to put them up there. And I think I tried it and it disappeared into the roof. Yeah. And I found out another pressurized panel. So it wasn't too bad. I only lost 3 kph. And there we go. I can't see it. That's no good. Righto. Drop this. Okay. Oh no, it's pressurized. Quick. Seal it up, seal it up, seal it up. Okay. Right. Now we're going to have to be quick. So we need angle grinder. Was it angle? No, drill. Crowbar. So crowbar. Drill. Get that steel back up in there. There we go. And I think that was the only 2 times I accidentally started to depressurize the base. And we lost 3 kph. Yeah, that's clipping in. I don't like that. And at this point, in the back of my mind, I'm still, right, suit storage is going to be there. But we could put lockers there. So it's no big issue. You know, you could come in, if you don't want to circle up the air thing, we can put lockers on this side. I think I realised I'm not going to put it there because the base is pressurised. I'm kind of thinking, right, we come into here, console. I think I settled on this spot here. There we go. And then I have the pipes facing downwards. Yeah, I'll look at it up there. Not quite happy with the bottom, but then it clips, and I think, yeah, that's not going to happen. trouble with putting these in the middle is because you lose the whole wall. You've got pipes below, cables on top, so you can't really place anything else on that wall. So we were looking at eventually having the pressurization going into tanks so you don't get that airflow going through the base or the drop in the pressure. But I think for now, just to get this airlock up and running, I'm going to go the way I normally do it and put draw the air in through a vent, obviously for outside. So I'm now looking to where I'm going to put the outside vent, passive vent. So yeah, for this space here, it's going to have a pressurized air filtration system, which all the airlocks are going to feed into. So you'll never get that disturbance of air, that drop in pressure, every time you open the airlock. But for now, like I said, with this airlock, that's exactly what I'm going to do the old-fashioned way, where you put a passive air vent inside the base. Just because it's quicker. I haven't got the filtration or the air conditioning set up in the base at all yet. And you can't place these on cladding. I really want it on that wall, so I'm not going to compromise on this wall. I want it on that wall, right there. So I decided not to get lazy. Cut it out, take the cladding out. I did try, we take the cladding out and then we put down a wall of some description. And you'll see there to the left, that's not the void, that's behind the cladding on the outside of the base. There we go. That looks good. I think that looks good. Yeah, I'm trying to find the rounded corner. I always struggle with that. I don't know why. Got to get some painting done. I know it's a construction site, so we're going to feed the pipes down. So this is going to the external vent. It's actually quite good rewatching this and dubbing it, because now I can just commit to memory where these pipes are. So that one's the external. So what we're doing now is, once you decide which vent is going external, rename all of these. ext.external, int.internal. You'll see why it's good to label this stuff, because when you come to do the chip on the console for your advanced airlock, you will have the devil's own job trying to work out which one's which. So I'll just work out your cut. For some reason you can pick up the pipes through the floor, but you can't pick that up. So I'm just having a quick tidy up. The airlock is not far away from completion. Yeah, I think I'm wanting to put the vent. No. I put this vent in the wrong place. Alright, so this is the internal. No idea why I'm looking up there. So we've got to bring this inside the base. Now this is where I made a mistake. I was going to set that up there temporarily. But you can't set it up there because that's drawing air from internal the base to pressurize the thing. So this is a mistake. That's wrong, folks. Don't do that. I'll change that in a minute. As soon as I notice I've got it wrong, I change it. Because obviously, if you're outside and it's dropped the airlock down to 0, ready for the fresh air from the base, your airlock is at 0 kPa. So when it tries to pressurize the airlock again, it's drawing from a vacuum. It doesn't work. So I'm going to go and place the gas sensor, advanced airlock. I've already got an area power control unit, I don't need that. What you looking for now, Ben? What you looking for? Right, so cables. Right, let's go. So I think this is the point where I decide, you know what? I don't actually need it there. And I think in a minute you'll see me look to the left, because I look to the left and think, well, why can't I just run it along the bottom of the wall there? It's just as temporary, but at least it's out of sight temporary. So there you go. I don't want to break open that wall, so I'm tracing that cable through. I bring it out straight away. I don't want to lose that cable behind the wall. And then I'm going to run it down to the doors. And I think at this point as well, this airlock, I'm going to put in 2 consoles. I've never done 2 consoles on an airlock before. So I'm looking at the back of that console, and I'm getting a little bit intimidated by it. And this is the point I realize, hey, why can't I take the power feed from out there? A much tidier, simpler solution. So we're just getting the doors wired up, and I'll take this off. This is when I say, right, nope, we're going to take it off there. And I use less cable going there too, I think. Yeah. So it's a much more efficient route. Don't need that. Put that in there. And that's a buried cable ready to get power from the top of the tower there. I'll splice that big cable in up there. Obviously all the cables underground will be heavy cables, because should it ever burn out, good luck trying to find a burnt out cable underground. Food is 43. Dehydration is down to 22%. So my suit would need a new battery. I'm going to keep that battery in my pack as a spare battery. I'm looking where to place the sensor. I didn't place the sensor here because I've got the light's getting in the way of the cables, and also above that roof it's pressurized. I don't want to start working blind when I'm in such a tight spot. Eventually I will wire up those lights. I think I've got 2 sets of 2. So I can have 2 of those lights working with the airlock and then 2 of those lights on a separate switch. So now I've put that there. I'm going to work out now where to put the cables through to get the circuits onto that system. Air vent to the left, door to the right, hindering as to where I can bring this cable down. I'm trying to work out now, how am I going to get that cable down to that circuit? Is there a quick way? And there really isn't. I've got to take it a little bit around the houses. So I think, where do I take it in here? I think I take it over the top there, I think. When I turn the headlight off, because with the shine of the whiteness, I can't see the cables behind the wall. Not that well indeed. And there we go. Have we got it all wired out? We've got the console on, doors are on. So what we've got to do now is we put the airlock chip into there. Not entirely sure why I was looking outside. I think I'm just working out if I've got everything. The doors are marked. Everything's named. I'm trying to remember where I put that data disk now. Right, so everything should be powered on. Just double checking wires. Checking everything's connected. So everything should be online now, ready for power. Excuse me, folks. Right. And this is the point where I'm thinking, well, I'm going to leave the 2 consoles set up for now. Because obviously if I'm outside coming in, I'm on my own. This is not multiplayer yet. So there's never going to be a situation where I'm stuck in the base and I can't open the doors. So let's get this sealed up. Ready to pressurize. Tidy up the cables. And let there be power. There we go. That's always a good sign. The doors are lit up. Checking they've got power. Just checking everything's got power going to it. I haven't made a silly mistake. So I'm just going to tidy up a few more panels and then we're going to get into that console. This is where I'm looking for the data disk. What have I done with it, folks? What have I done? What am I running for? Oh, water, yeah, I realise my dehydration is at 0%. Oh, that would be embarrassing. What did you die of on Mars? Did you blow up? Did you electrocute yourself? Did you suffocate? No, I died of dehydration very slowly.
Hunger, caution. Oxygen low.
And then obviously I think, no we didn't, did we do it? Not yet. We'll go and bring the cable into the base a little bit later. We splice the power from the greenhouse. Again, temporary solution. Imagine we're just laying a extension electric cable across the ground. And then we go and splice it. I always take my helmet off as much as I can. It just stops you having to need a shower so often. And I think we grab some food while we're here. Nice tin of tomato soup. Now I don't have a efficient food production in this base. This base was always just a little temporary thing. But you'll see in the new extension where I'm working now, I've got a dedicated kitchen area that's going to be my setup to make food efficiently, more automated. So now I'm thinking, okay, we only used up 5%, that's okay. But I'm kind of umming and ahhing. Do I need to put a temporary cable? It's a wise idea. We don't want that battery going flat. Right, so here we go. So you see why here now it's a good idea to label all the parts as you put them in. So you see there, external, I always set to 2 or 0? 0. Internals about 30, because it's only at 30 kph at the moment, so that'll do. And then you see gas sensor, easy, click that. Active vent, interior, exterior, so exterior, EXT, there we go, exterior, matched up. Interior, matched up. Job's a good one, console, and then the blast door EXT, exterior onto exterior, and then blast door internal onto interior. Job's a good one. And it works. So we get no error codes, so we are going to cycle to exterior. So I don't realize the problem yet with having that passive vent in the wrong place. So that cycles through okay. So what did I do here? What did I do wrong? I think something's not quite right. So we cancel to interior, and I'm sitting there going, why is that still on 0? This is where you have that elevator music going. Why is that still on 0? Why? That's working. Why? Okay, so I cancel depressurization. I'm thinking to myself, what have I done wrong? My Windows 95 Sands of Time are still running. Now I live in a part of the world where power outages are quite a regular feature, so I did a quick save there because I don't want to have to go through all of this again. And I'm thinking to myself, what's going wrong? What? I've done something wrong. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Ba-ba-ba. So now I can open up this side. That's right, I'm thinking because this other side was 0, that's why it wasn't drawing up. Don't look at that, don't look at that. Nope, nothing to see there, folks. Wait for the next episode. We shall be in there on the next episode. Batteries are 84. Now I'm starting to think I need to get power in here while I'm sorting this out. I don't want that battery going dead. I've got a spare battery in my pack, and then I'm thinking about where I'm going to take the feed from just temporarily. And I think I decide it's just as easy to go straight across to the greenhouse. Now I can't remember whether I realized I made the mistake with a passive vent now, but I've decided that priority, power to that battery. We need to get trickle feed. So I cycled in exterior. So now it's going to put the air in this airlock, 23 kph, back into the airlock. And that's where I'll realise. That's where I'll realise, I think. Because nothing's happening. it's taking the air out the airlock and putting it in the airlock. Yeah, and I'm like, why? Why is this stuck? Why is this stuck? That's the mistake I made. There we go, you see. So I'm thinking, right, that air vent should be inside. So I've bit the bullet. I've got to open that. What a waste of air. So I'm going to put that air vent has got to go inside that room. Do I do it now? Yeah. I do it now quickly, I think. In the back of my mind, I'm aware that that battery's going to run out. But it's okay, I don't mind. If that door is open, if I'm working inside the base at this point, I've got a spare battery in my battery pack. But I think I'll run outside now and I'll quickly lay the cable down, ready to go. And then I'll come back to do the vents. So you see, this is where you guys have helped me. I'm now more focused on what I've got to do. I'm getting distracted. I'm like, right, I know I've got to fix the vent, but let's get this cable down. That's what I came out to do. Let's not get sidetracked. I'm aware of the problem, and it's the next thing to do. So I'm just laying this cable now. This is, like I said, this is a temporary cable, like a thing. Again, do I need the cable up in the air? I hate it. I don't like it. You know, if we're going to have a short-term temporary fix, let's try and make it as realistic as possible. And extension cords don't float in the air like this. And we're not on the moon. Yeah, so now I realise, hey, I can actually have this running along the ground, you know. A little bit underground, but not a problem. I know I said I don't bury cables, but you'll see here, it's only one length of cable that's completely hidden. Not too difficult to find. And just looking at that there now, I think I'm going to have to, excuse me, I'm going to have to change those transformers, right, because then I can have the input mains cable come straight down the corner of that wall. But these are all stuff I run around and tidy up later. Excuse me, folks. Keeping it real, smoker's cough. So here we go. Now we're going to get this sorted out. My Windows 95 brain for the win. Of course, I'm still dubbing, so I'm trying to remember what I was thinking, what I was saying at this time. Probably all complete nonsense. Normally is. No, don't open it. Oh, I can, yes, because I'm pressurized now. So we can open the wall. So you can see there's the void behind the walls, which is going to make laying pipes and circuits and cables so much easier. So where am I going to put this? Am I going to put this on the other side of this wall? Or am I going to put it into this room? And I might actually change this, you know, it doesn't need to be into this room, it can go into the void. And I think the reason why I'm worried about putting it in the void area is stale air. But it's not. And again, this is just where I'm not used to working with voids, pressurized voids. Again, that could be the solution to fluctuation in pressure in the base, those airflows. Think about it, that void is just a big tank. There we go, that's the void between the outside skin and the inside wall. So yeah, no reason why I can't put that passive vent blowing out into there. I think I might change that. And also as well, you know, when you haven't got this stuff, everything on the walls, it makes it so much easier when you're trying to put furniture down, trying to put wall lockers up. You haven't got to worry about hidden cables, hidden pipes stopping you from putting up lockers. And just trying to work out now how we're going to get this pipe across to there, because obviously we've got the pipes in the wall there. I don't want to open up that wall. That wall goes outside. Not a good idea. But of course, those pipes are in that wall. So I'm going to have to take off this pipe here. I'm going to have to leave the other one in the wall for now, because obviously I can't reach it from here, and I'm not going to open up that wall to get it. Now, I think we're just going to bring this pipe across the floor now. That's my little dog Emma, if you can hear it barking in the background, giving the neighbour's dog what for. We get that on there. So now we've got that vent fixed. Get things tidied up. one pile from one room into another room. Just like a proper builder. Move that pile of junk from this room into that room. Tidy. Job done. So, what do we do here? Patch that up. That one's important. Right, let's test it out, folks. So, that door is open. We are pressurized. Now it should work. Now, the one thing with when you make these airlocks a little bit bigger, and something I haven't got to grips with, is it's quite slow. So, I've never done as big an airlock as this one. I don't remember. So obviously things are very slow, and I've got to get my head around how to improve that. So here I'm just checking you up, 3 kph, 4 kph. So she's pulling air in from the base, but at a very, very slow rate. I do need to address that. I don't think we could sit here waiting for this to go up to 90 kph like that. Now, one of the solutions, I think, is if you put have the internal air vent linked to maybe a pressurized tank, as you see the outwards is very limited. Now, there could be two reasons. One, the base is only at 30 kph. There's not a lot of pressure behind that pipe, behind that passive air vent. So maybe when the base gets up to full pressure at 101 kph, this will get a lot quicker to fill this. But if I go into that air vent into a pressurized ventilation system, then I can pressurize those pipes up to what? 1 megapascal, 2 megapascals. So I can get a lot more pressure behind that air vent. And I'm thinking maybe that will make this a lot quicker. So there's a lot to think about in this game. You know, this is one of the reasons why I really enjoy it. I really wish this game and Space Engineers would get married. And can you imagine what their child would be like? You know, if you had what you have in Space Engineers mixed with what you have in Stationeers. Can you imagine the spaceships you could make? I mean, that would just be insane. You'd have to have electricians, engineers, AC specialists, a proper space navy, weapons specialists, flight crew, navigators. It's a shame. It's a shame we can't, you know, developers can say, okay, we love this game. Let's go and work with Space Engineers team and let's make a game that rocks. And I'm looking at this battery thinking, yo, this is, we still got a spare battery in the pack, switch it over. We're going to set this up for 100 watts to start with. Just trickle feed, 100 watts. Let's see what happens. I didn't actually check the circuits. I should have checked the circuits while I was here to see what everything drew. But I'm kind of a little bit special like that. I'm just wondering how long it's going to take to flatten that battery. And then I think I shut that door just in case I had to break in. If that battery runs dead, those airlock stops working and you have to break into it. So if something does go wrong, I'm only going to lose a little bit of air while I'm doing it. It's quite quick to depressurize. About 30 kPa, it's safe to take your helmet off. But I'm leaving everything on, leaving the visor down because I'm running straight through to the greenhouse. And I can see if that battery's charging from the greenhouse because it's quite behind that window and I can see from the greenhouse. So I'll be able to see straight away if that is enough. The 100 watts is enough to trickle charge it. Dump my waste tank. I think it's just CO2 in there. The base will fit. The base will clean it out. Get some elevator music. Do 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 do. Yeah, I got fed up of waiting. I'm conscious that battery's running flat. Right, so we got power. We can splice off a cable there just for now. When I say temporary, is 5 years temporary? The rest of the station's life? So here we go. We're going to splice into it. And that pump is to keep the greenhouse at a nice steady 23 degrees. There we go. So now we're going to have a look, see what that battery's doing. So it's on a red constant. If it's flashing red blue, it means it's discharging, but it's not flashing green blue, so it's not charging, but I think it's holding steady. So 100 watts is going in and 100 watts is going out, which is obviously not ideal. I'm not going to see anything beyond that transformer because I'm on a different circuit. So we're going to go running across to the transformer now, and we're going to increase the watts on the transformer to see at what point does the battery start to charge. We don't need anything more than that. We just need a little bit of trickle charge. All that battery is doing is running an airlock and making sure we can get in and out of there to work. And as we use more power in the base, it's going to be coming off the main batteries, and I've got a transformer room. You'll see in that base I've actually got a room dedicated to the batteries and transformers and the different circuits. Insert elevator music here. So I'm going to open this just as soon as that starts to pressure up. There we go. So we got steady light, so we're just going to chuck it up to 110, and there we go. That's all I needed to do. So now that batteries, that's all golden, all Gucci. So that means now we're all ready to go for the next video. And the next video is going to be my first how-to, my beginner's guide to something. It's going to be the grand opening for you guys to see the inside of that base. I'm really excited for this next video. So please like and subscribe. It really helps. And we're going to run back to the base. This is where I'm going to say goodbye to you folks. I'm going to wish you well. Have a great day. And keep it easy. I could have timed that dub a little bit better. Okay. Oh, I've got a little timer in the bottom of my screen. Could be looking at that. 21 seconds to go. 21 seconds to go. So we're just going to put our kit away, go and have a shower. So thank you very much for watching, folks. Please, please, please keep it easy. Goodbye.